Hello and welcome back, Squirrel Nation. I hope you're all having an outstanding day. For today's video, it's going to be a Dragon Knight video, and I'm basically showing it to you to discuss kind of some alternatives in case you don't hit the normal core Dragon Mages pieces, and then see how you can kind of ride a lose streak and then go into Dragon Mages. And before we dive in, if you have not already, please support me in-game by adding me as your favorite content creator following the infographic shown. Anyways, with that said, here we go. So I'm starting later in the game just because I feel like the more valuable stuff is coming up from this point on. To this point, I was lose streaking heavily. You can see that I'm all the way down to 14 health and it's round 24. But my economy is okay. I kind of basically just had to YOLO roll a little bit to get to where I won't immediately die. So this is something that will frequently happen when you're running a mage comp because mages have a very rough early game, and the transition mid game to get into your powerful point, it can be rough. So in this game, like we talked about substitutions, you can see that I couldn't hit a Thunder Spirit. Actually, I just got the Thunder Spirit last round when I was YOLO rolling, but I couldn't even get it to 2-star. So I do have a Dragon synergy, so that's why I said, you know what, I'm not going to put in a Thunder Spirit. I already have my 3 Mage synergy. I'm just going to put in 2 Shining Dragons. And then same thing, you can notice that I have a Shadow Devil, and positioning seems weird, but it works out well because the Shadow Devil, I basically just want him to ult as much of the enemy team as possible. If I put him, he is for attack range, but if you put a Shadow Devil in the back, his ultimate is pretty lackluster. It spreads out too much and it doesn't tend to hit the enemies as much as you want. Normally I would want him in the middle rows, but if I look at Shadow Devil or I look at the Shining Dragons, I would actually prefer that my Shining Dragons stay alive and just continuously ult. And the reason for that is they have a very short cooldown on their ultimate, whereas Shadow Devil has a very long cooldown on his ultimate. Okay, so anyways, I use my economy. We basically roll down to get into level 9, and then here comes another substitution. So another issue with Dragon Mages, or mages in general, is it can be kind of hard to get your front line where you want it, right? And in this game, you can see I'm having to front a Shadow Devil. I mean, that is not something you really want to do. So Helicopter is a great substitution into the rounds, and the reason for that is because Helicopter actually has 10 armor as a legendary, and it has a solid health pool. So it's actually a very, very nice substitution. There, I broke the Helicopter off. I didn't have that much time to think, and splitting a Helicopter can frequently work very well. The reason is he is tanky. He will get off his ultimate. The only reason he didn't get it off his ultimate is that the Taboo Witcher was on him, and that was the only reason. But against the other team comps, he will get his ultimate off like that, and kind of splitting them up can buy me time, but I do change my position now that I have some time. But anyways, we're down to 6 health, 0 gold, round 26, and from here on we're just going to discuss the basic decision making and try to end as high as we possibly can. So I am rolling. I would like to hit a Thunder Spirit. I also would like, I'm set up for 6 mages, right? I can get 6 mages if I can get a God of Thunder, and so that's in my mind. So now we're looking, what's the optimum I can do? I decide to put my Helicopter as a front. I put the Shadow Devil in the position I want him, which is in that middle. And then we have the Shining Dragon second row also. That's why we switch the Shining Dragon with a Venom. So Venom will ult, and then he'll jump in, and then my Shining Dragons can both hit as much as possible. So anyways, you can see that my Helicopter again didn't get off ultimate, so that is something we will kind of need to adjust the formation. And some notes on the positioning. My Dragon Knight, the reason I have him in the front is you have to have tanks. So right now I only have 3 tanky units, Werewolf, Helicopter, and Dragon Knight. So normally you put Dragon Knight in the back, but in this case I need to have a front line or else my mages are just going to get crushed through, so that's why I'm fronting my Dragon Knight. And yeah, at this point, I think we basically YOLO roll, and we're just deciding on positioning. I should ideally, switch the Werewolf on the edge and have the Helicopter in the middle. The reason for that is now my Werewolf is going to jump into the enemy team. He's going to be by himself. If they're cross map, if they're same side, then the Werewolf, Dragon Knight, and Helicopter will share aggro. So that is kind of the way. So you'll notice, right, Werewolf jumps into them, but the majority of my team stays back in a tight formation to deal with these assassins, so it works out well. Ults go off and absolutely crush the assassin. So if you are a mage player, this is how you kind of want to structure your position against the assassins, because assassins and mages are weird. Assassins can counter mages, and but it more depends on the mage player's positioning. And obviously, I'm not counting items because items always take things in different ways. But yeah, so my dragon, the reason they're working against assassins, if you notice, is my shining dragon and my venom are going to ult right off the bat, and then the assassins attack them. They die. By the time they die, though, then my Shadow Devil's ultimate, my Tortola Elder's ultimate's going off, and all those assassins have surrounded my formation on the right side. So those two ultimates basically just kill the assassins. So that's the reason it works out pretty well. Here, I think I'm repositioning so that we remember the Taboo Witcher was hugging the wall, so you lining your Dragon Knight up with a Taboo Witcher is totally fine, because your Dragon Knight is going to instantly transform as soon as the fight starts. So Taboo Witcher draining its mana has no impact on your Dragon Knight. So you'll notice also in this game, I will try to get the Taboo Witcher targeted onto my Dragon Knight because it's very low impact for my team. So there we go. We are just trying to hold on as best we can. We're just kind of scouting around. We do have the 6 assassin to worry about, and the hunter. I'm looking for the dwarf sniper, right? Focus on the dwarf sniper because I do not want to be in range. I don't want my squishies in range of the dwarf sniper. Bam, we hit our thunder spirit and a 3-star shining dragon. So things are looking really, really nice at this point. And those are really big upgrades. So you ask yourself, why am I holding the source? The reason is because if I hit a God of Thunder, I can be at 6 mages, which will be really, really, really strong because I can put my God of Thunder, switch him for my helicopter, and I can switch my source for my Shadow Devil. And that is how I would hit 6 mage and have, 6 mage at level 9, and we would be super happy. So I'm just leaving that open. Here we go. Outstanding weapon. We all know this. And Flame Wizard, yeah, just don't sleep on Flame Wizard. If you can, I've found when I've been most successful with mages, it's because a Flame Wizard is doing well for me early game, or something that's letting me hold on. She's a really good piece at loose streaking too, because she's almost guaranteed to kill something, and that way you're losing less health every round. So even if you're loose streaking, Flame Wizards can be really nice. And just deciding where to put items. Once again, we switch sides, because I don't want the Dwarf Sniper to be killing my... I want to be cross-map from the Dwarf Sniper, basically. So that's why we're switching. And by the way, the Assassins, again, we can see on the side, they get onto Venom. He already ulted, who cares? Same thing, they get onto Thunder Spirit, it ults, and then after that, who cares once he ults? And then all my Mage ults come through and just wreck the Assassins. So that's basically what it should look like, as long as you are positioning your heroes that... you don't care as much about on the outside edge. And bam, Orb of Refreshing on our Tortola Elder. It's looking good. We're getting super lucky with items here. And to be honest, that is a big part of us holding in this game also, is the fact that we are getting so lucky with items. But you know, that is the nice way. So Puppet Mask, here's another good discussion point. You want to spread them out. Like, there's a lot of times I get multiple Puppet Masks on my team, because generally in a team comp you have a front line and you have a back line. So like a Puppet Mask that's, let's say, on my Shadow Devil, or like this Heaven's Gift, is going to hit almost my whole team. A Puppet Mask there, same thing. But what happens is if they're cross map, right, my Dragon, my Helicopter, those type of units might jump out, and then they're not getting the benefit of the Puppet Mask. So that's in the case of teams where you might want to get multiple and spread them out. In this game, it's not a thing because of the fact my Helicopter, the fact that I put a Dragon Knight in the front and a Helicopter in the front means they're not going to move. Like, the enemy team would have to be very hugged into a corner for my Helicopter and my Dragon Knight to move. Actually, Helicopter, because he's a dwarf, I'm not even sure he would move no matter. Dragon Knight would move, but like the enemies have to be pretty... trying to avoid him, I guess. So that is another thing to consider, but I think that's part of why it works well in Mage comps, because you want to be hugged tight into a group. And if you notice, same thing, that Taboo Witcher right there is going to be on my Dragon Knight, so we discussed that. I want to line that Dragon Knight up with a Taboo Witcher, and that's what I'm looking at. I want to counter that player. In endgames, I want to kill one of the players as quickly as possible because then we can turn the fights into a positional battle. When there's 3, 4 heroes left, it's hard to position successfully against all of them, but once you're down to 2 players, then you can really start to outplay the enemy team just by positioning. So for me, I really want to eliminate somebody so we can get this fight down to a positional battle, and here you go. So remember, I positioned against the Druid player who's in first place, but then this Beast Warrior, I lose to the Beast Warrior, right? So that's just kind of the way it works, and then the Beast Warrior is probably losing. I don't know. I'm not sure. Probably losing. Yes, so the Beast Warrior, the Beast Warrior beats the Feather. So rock, paper, scissors, and that's why let's try to eliminate somebody if we can, or try to position in a way to do well against both of them. But that can be pretty rough late game depending on how different the comps are. Once again, we're re-rolling to try to get a sixth mage, and I am thinking a pirate captain. I mean, a pirate captain switch-in will give me CC, and it will give me more tankiness, so I would probably switch it out for the werewolf, or if I really decide I need more, I could actually remove the Shadow Devil, I could remove the Flame Wizard, so we're thinking about what type of things we can move out. And this is the main reason I chose this game, is for this discussion, is when do you need to have more tankiness? When do you need to have more CC? When do you need to have more damage, right? That's what you need to be asking yourself. So at this point, the Feather Druid went out of the game, okay? And I hold on with 1 health. So now I know that I'm fighting the Beast Warrior. So against the Beast Warrior team, right, what do I want? What do I need to hold on in this game, okay? So you can even pause for a second and think to yourself, what would you do in this position? What do you think the right choice is? And what I go for is swapping the pirate captain with the werewolf, okay? And into the next round, that's also what I'm going to do. And why am I going to do it becomes the more important question. And I'm going to do it because the warriors we know are going to surround my mages, right? They're going to collapse all around my team. They're going to get hit with all my ultimates, okay? So how can a warrior protect themselves against my team composition? They can do that by killing my mages, my team, before they ultimate, right? Or getting silences off. So they want to try to silence my helicopter, they want to try to kill my Thunder Spirit before they can get ultimates off, right? And we look at this, he does have human synergy with the werewolf and pirate captain. I'm looking where they are, I want to place myself there. We do hit the 2-star helicopter too, which helps. And if you notice, I have all magic damage, right? Everything on my team is magic damage, so the warriors are not going to like that, and we are positioning so that I predictably know where the werewolf's going to silence. The werewolf is going to silence my Dragon Knight. And then also all magic damage. And anyways, the main point I'm making, my pirate captain is going to ultimate, he's going to stun the warriors, and then that should buy enough time for my mages to ult. And as long as all my heroes get their ultimates off, I should crush the enemy warrior team. That is the key. That can be a very hard decision. I mean, I know if you watch it, it seems like, oh, it's obvious, or there are some of you thinking, okay, that's obvious. But to a lot of people, it's not an obvious choice. The reason why is werewolf gives me that extra silence. It gives me that extra tank, right? There are people who would take out the Flame Wizard maybe, because the Flame Wizard is late game, it's shooting one thing, but it's not necessarily the greatest thing. But in that case, I don't need another front line, and the reason is this. My helicopter is only going to ult once, and he's guaranteed to ult as long as I can dodge a silence, right? And same thing with my Dragon Knight, it's guaranteed to ult, and it's going to do its damage no matter what. It just needs to sit there and tank, and its damage is just a bonus. But let's say I put in a werewolf. Then I need to front my werewolf with my pirate captain and everything else. I would need to put it up there, and it's not going to be doing damage. It's just going to be buying my mage's time to ultimate. But if I have the Flame Wizard in, because it's for attack range, it's going to attack as soon as the fight starts, and it is also guaranteed to ult. But when it ults, it's going to basically take half of something health. So to me, the comparison comes to okay, I can have the Flame Wizard, it's going to take a huge chunk out of somebody's health plus that auto attack damage, and it's stacked with items doing a lot of damage consistently, or I have a werewolf who's going to buy me a little extra time. Like we said, mages, they either kill your team on that initial ultimate round of ultimates, or they're going to be probably in a pretty hard spot. So that is what I opt for, is sticking with the Flame Wizard instead of the Pirate Captain. Anyways, those are the main things I want to talk about today. This was just a game I wanted to show for those reasons, and it was a fun game. You know, we came back from the brink of death. I know those are the enjoyable times, and the last few games have not been as edgier seats. So just want to share that with all of you. And anyways, take care, have a great day, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.